Welcome back, everybody. It's the return of Steve-O, and that's what's happening. Also, we're gonna go sell some cows at the sale barn, and that's what's happening on Ranching Sodak. So we ended up with a few of these dry cows out of the old group, so we worked that group, and as you could see when we were working that Chris and Carla didn't come up. Me and Sassy Pants did it ourselves, which was fine. I pulled off 2 cows that had, the one cow was really bad. She had a calf, wasn't doing a great job with it. The other one's bag looked like she was not doing much for her calf either, hardly milking at all. And then there was 7 cows with no calves. We got 9 cows out here. We're gonna take them to Aberdeen, to the West barn. Really good market, so like I've said before this year, no sense in keeping anything that doesn't do what you want. So I'm gonna run these guys up, put them in the water tank pen and be ready to load. We got meat down to the butcher shop. We'll pick that up on the way back. Hey guys, good morning. Don't. See, these things are just fatter than fat. Not raising a calf, there's nothing for them to do but get fat. That cow there is the one we pointed out this summer that I said was we need to get her caught and out of here. So luckily she's still alive and we're getting her out of here. Ease up, dogs. So, do you guys remember Steve-O from last year? About this time, we were doing a lot of haying. Steve's from southern Minnesota. Anything you want to tell him this year, Steve, about your return visit?
Just glad to be back. Glad to be on the ranch.
Yeah, it's like old hat. He come last night or yesterday afternoon, and 5 minutes he was just back in action. We were wrapping some bales, and it's like he was never gone. Good back there? Oh, she's right here. Get back there and check.
Turn around.
No. Made her. Everybody's got the same idea as me, I guess. A line up here. If I was to guess, I think guys are pulling bulls this time of year, and then once they're out there, they got their hands on some stuff, able to look at their herd and either sell a bull they may be done with, or get rid of some cows since they're capturing their bulls. And then next week's Labor Day, so there won't be as many sales next week. But we'll get in there and check her out and see what we see. Cows. Yeah. I gotta pull into the line up here with the other BTOs. Nice unit, Matt. This is gonna be Steve's first time, well, not first, but he figured he was in a sale barn 30 years ago?
Probably, yeah.
Close to 30. He mistakenly bought a dairy cow for his dad that he wasn't supposed to when he was a young boy. Turned out fine, but you guys wanna see the back action first before we go in? So they're penned in their little pens. We'll come back and get a few more, pull out of these pens and bring them in one at a time. Then they put them, oh boy. Too far away to see that. The guy got his paddle kicked out of his hand. Come back up. Come on, girls. In the barn. Hi, 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 hi. So then there was a couple bulls in there, but a lot of those they'll be sold one at a time. But that'll be the guy in the. There's Brent, here's the owner. Get him on camera. He's a big TikTok guy if you guys want to check him out on TikTok. So here's a whole load of fat cows. The first 14 weighed 1,644 pounds. They've been on some feed. We'll see what they bring. They look pretty nice. Not super framey, but they're in really good shape. I told Steve came over here and sat over in the corner here. I said he's in the top buyer's seat. He didn't even know where he sat down. So now the auctioneer's kind of really watching him because it's a new face.
I'm buying for you.
You know, my checkbook won't work. You'll have to get your checkbook out. So they're really putting an eye on Steve-O here, thinking he's going to start bidding.
Thinking he's a new buyer coming in from
1623.
26 of them, average 16.35. Band down $1.72 trade. And 172 bottle of 73 here, 72 bottle of green, 172, 173. And 172 bottle of green, the bottle of green, 75, 180, 180, and $180 quarter.
180.
Quarter, 180 and a quarter, 80 down and a quarter, 180 and a quarter, and 180 down and a quarter, 180 down and a quarter, 180 and a quarter, now half, 180 and a half, 80 and a half, 180 and a half, 80 quarter, half, 80, 75, 81.
81 and a quarter.
1 quarter. 181.
181. 29.59. Going to kill.
We came about 11 here, 12, 211, 212 here. Here we go, 211 down better, 212.
1,718 pounds for 218.
22.
Pretty lean too.
223, 224, 225, 225, 225, 226, and 225, 226, 225, there it is, 226, so 225, 27.
$225 per 100.
7 head of them right here, $1.80, 81, 75, 6 here, let's bid. Feldhouse cows right here, $1.75, 76 here, $1.75, bottom of the $75, 76, and 175, 76, 75.
So 1,535 pounds. They're a little bigger than I thought, but they're grass fat and dry.
76 hand, $1.76, gotta be you gotta have 176 hand, and 176 gotta have 76 hand, 77, 77, $177, and 177, 7 hand, 7 have 177. 7 hand, 7 and 177, 7 hand, 78, ding, 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 that is 78, 75, 178, and 178, 78, 78, 177, 75, $78, 8 quarter, 8 quarter, 178 half, 8 quarter, 8 half, 8 half, 178 half, and 8 quarter, 8 half, 178 half, 8 quarter, 8 half, 8 half, 78 half, 8 half, so 178 quarter, 40.
$2,736. This one's a little bigger bellied one, a little older. That's one of Ryan's cows, actually. Isn't it?
$75.38.
And here's the one we wanted to get to town to make sure that, so she's struggling mineral-wise and just old. She's 12. I didn't want to have her die in the pasture because she can do some good. $80, 82 and a half. And eat it down, eat it down, 50, 5. And 50 down, 5, 60 down, 60 down, 60 down, 85, 60 down, 5, 16, 5, 60 down, 5, 30, and 75, 75, eat it down, 85, 85, 85, 90 down, 90 down, 87 and a half, 85, 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 87 and a half, so $85 footer and 4. What do you think of these glasses? So even that old cow at 1,240 pounds brought 1,055 is way better than having her die on the place. So glad we got her into town when we did. So yeah, they sold pretty good, better than I thought actually. We were taking bets on how much they were going to bring, and I think Steve was going to be closer than me. I was on the low end. I think Steve's going to be a little closer on the right. Total, yeah. I was a couple, $2-3 short of what I thought I was going to get. So I'll buy Steve's dinner now. We got to get the clerk. She doesn't like to be on camera, so we got to sneak in. Got you again. Is it your kids or your grandkids that watch?
My kids and the neighbors.
And the neighbors. Well, you're on again. Should my stuff come through?
Thank you very much, Matt, for having me on there again. Really appreciate it.
So here's the check. This thing is just insane. A lot of those cows in that group of 7, you know, I've said it before, but that was out of our older group of cows. Most of those cows were crowding 10 years old, you know, 9 to 12. I was thinking on the way down here, I paid $1,500, up to $1,600 and down for those cows back when I first got them. You know, and in that group there, that's $2,700 a head for them cows. This one was over 10-year-old cow, $2,400, and then that old one. So yeah, there's the check. Pretty wild stuff. It's definitely a selling time, not a buying time. And I talked to one of the cattle feeders, and he was sitting on his hands and on his phone. He said it is just getting scary for the feeding cow guys, but wild times. Let's go have some Mexican food. Head to Guadalajara's. Steve jacked.
I'm ready.
Treating old Sassy Pants to a new stove. Stove we've had has been on the fritz for 2 months. The oven doesn't come up to speed or up to temp, so her bread's been turning out like rubber loaf. We figure, well, let's get her a new stove today. And Steve's last name is Lang, so this is Lang's TV and appliance, and Steve is getting a picture in front of Lang so he can send to his kids and tell him that he bought an appliance store. Well, Lang's let us down. They wouldn't sell us the display model, and they had no stoves, so we had to go to the big box to Menards and get one. Ended up saving 200 bucks. I think we'll still call her even though once we get this.
What are we calling even?
Me and you.
Oh, we're pretty much always even.
Steve, show him the sign we were trying to steal. So this, what's on the other side of that? Steve was like, here, let's just steal this. See, it was like, oh, the bargain merchandise. I guess that is a legit sign. Then I was gonna try to steal this fake turf, and I didn't want to part with that either. All right, Menards. I guess we'll just go back to using cardboard to cover up the cow crap.
Don't dip the green.
Well, we got out of the big town of Aberdeen, and now we made it to the meat house in Andover. We got the last beef of ours. The last two we took to get butchered were ours and Dane's. We're gonna pick up a bunch of that meat now, get the coolers out, and then we'll have to make a plan so we don't put it in this dirty trailer. Sassy Pants' stove is still standing, so that's good. Ay, caramba. What's going on? Made her back home. We got to get that stove unloaded. We got all the beef in here though. Box after box and cooler after cooler. We could do like a bar 7 and he set it all out on the table and talked about all the cuts, but basically we got steaks and roast, burger and brisket. I have my briskets cut in half, so we do small little briskets so we don't have a... Tried a few patties this time. These steaks are, but what did we figure out? We got like 365 pounds of actual take-home meat off of ours. Sounds like a lot, but I mean, it ends up being costing 10 bucks a pound right now when you figure everything in, but it's delicious. So now Steve's got he's gonna help me. We're gonna attack this stove. Yeah, we're sighing a lot because we're not getting jack crap done today. We're just driving around. Probably could put it in the, probably go right in the entryway, or see how heavy it is when we get our hands on it, huh? All right, we're gonna start doing some ranching here maybe. I want to go cut a little bit of hay. I'm getting the itch again. But I'm gonna set old Steve-O up with Jinxie here and put the single bale spear on it. Get him tasked to gathering some bales out there, lining them up for a bale grazing site, or just bringing them into this lot. Yesterday, or the other day when I unloaded those tires for tanks, she kept calling the loaf coolant. So I think I finally had worked a big air bubble through the system after putting that water pump on, which was kind of surprising that it took that long. So I ended up adding another gallon of antifreeze after a few days of sitting here and running it a little bit. But anyway, I made a I made a bale spear out of an old Miller one to mount onto the Merlot bracket. So I nabbed this. Like I say, it's an old MDF bale spear fit on my old Miller loaders, and I got to cut, maybe I didn't have to cut anything off. Let's look at it when we get out here, but I think I add a point there to nab on or hook on to the Merlot. We'll bring her out in the gravel and take a little look-see at her. If there's any beeping that's out of the ordinary, let me call me and I'll tell you if it's normal or not normal. Well, I've been up here for a bit haying. Here's my thistle patch. Anyways, it's working. I probably need some fuel is the problem. And I think we better go catch some cows tonight for tomorrow. With this cool weather, I think we really got to take advantage and work some calves tomorrow. So, might as well look at the food plot and the scanthus. This really doesn't seem like it's growing much more now. Still staying about waist to chest high if you pull it up. The sorghum, on the other hand, this later planted sorghum and corn and oddball stuff, that's gonna keep growing until it freezes. So, and then of course our pumpkins, they're really starting to blossom now, so any minute there should be some Well, we're home. Let's get a couple four-wheelers. This group of cows is, oh, they're just a mile away, mile and a half away in all of our stuff, our pastures. We just got to move them through a couple pastures and then move them up into the yard. Just a sauntering gather. Nothing on the road, no worries. So we got about, I would say we got an hour and a half of daylight. Should be able to get that done. Oh, I left some ruts. Creek is still running a little bit. It's been about, has it been now, a week? Uh-oh, dead cat. No worries there. It's been a week since we've had any rain, but the creek is still running, but it's slowed down considerably. Well, we're finding the cows. They're pretty much at the farthest west end of this whole deal, which means they're, you know, a mile, almost 2 miles from where we want them right now. It's a nice evening, it's nice and cool. Get them all going here, it should be fine. So I'm just driving right through the middle of them right now, so everybody knows that there's something out here. If you don't have your calf, you better find your calf.
Yeah, get off. Hey.
Heel. Heel. So we came and I drove through the whole herd and they're all just, they stayed here and they all kind of started to pair up. I never said anything. I just kind of kept the dogs by me. Still some cows with no calves, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start whistling and that's just going to tell them that I'm here to move them. I just want to start whistling and we're going to go back and forth sideways. So we had to come down along and then we got to go through this gate, but there's 2 bulls, dang bulls right now. They stand in the gateway and just block the gate like a, this red one here has been in this gate hole the whole time, won't let them go through. It's like they kind of start acting like they're trying to assert dominance against me herding the herd, you know what I mean? Now that I got the bull out of the way, then these cows are all gonna go. Boy, they look good this year. Man, them cows are fat. All right, so this creek is all getting bad there. We got to try to cross it, but I'm not sure the best way, and I don't know how deep this stuff is here to start with. It's rocks in the middle, which is good. Oh, I think we're gonna be okay. It's just if we don't get hung up coming out of here, that's the problem. I got the winch on, so I can pull him out if he gets hung up on a rock. Gotti. There's some nice GoPro footage. It's too far away, but I think we have a decent lead cow in the front up there about a 1/4 mile. Here's an example of that cow wanting to go to the left, but what instead of driving way over there and trying to push her back, flow is still going on the right hand side of the herd, which would, them cows are the lead cows now of where I want to go. So I just pushed into here to send some cows over to follow the lead over there. And then you can see she's upset because she's looking back at the herd and she's like, well, why don't you guys want to go left? And she still wants to go left, but I'm not going to go push on her. I'm going to go put another group of cows in the lead up there. So get some new cows in the lead that are fresh and willing to respond. Well, we got them into the home pasture, but once we got out here in the middle, some of this big blue is like 7 feet tall, well, 6 feet tall. Anyways, long story short, they couldn't see where they're going. They don't know what's going on. I didn't really make a path going towards the home gate, so they kind of balled up on the hill and then they took off down a trail, and we'll just close the gate and they'll be in this home quarter in the morning. We'll capture them and then let them stand up in the yard for a little bit. We'll be fine. It's pretty much as tall as a cow out here. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. Nighttime send-off. Ooh, maybe I can get some lights on us. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.